experience matches that or hasn't, right? Because, like, I mean, even look at this. Like, what should my last 2 months of interaction or 3 months of interaction been with Brad? What should that be based on like how you lead the company?
Is that a question for me, or are you?
Yeah, that's a question for you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that I have an answer to that because I'm not Brad. I mean,
no, but you're the COO, right? Are you the COO?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you're in charge of, that means all the operations, all the sales on the consulting side, right?
Right.
So then it would be your responsibility to know, like, here's the interaction with the people that roll up to me, and so you're holding them accountable to do that, right?
So you're telling me Brad didn't reach out to you and you guys didn't interact for the last 2 months? Is that?
I haven't heard one single thing direct from Brad. Like, he just stopped doing one-on-one, stopped communicating in October. I mean, so when he does that, I'm thinking like he's cleared that with you, and then that's just how you guys deal with conflicts. I was mildly critical about some things he was doing that were clearly wrong, clearly affecting clients, and then that was it.
Yeah, but Paul, you also, I'm not defending Brad.
Well, hold on. Before you say that, Chris, answer the first part of that.
No, I'm not. I don't need to answer that question.
Well, of course you don't need. No, I know. Of course, that's what I'm trying to educate you on. You think you don't need to, but you have to treat employees like you have to have a plan to say, here's how people that report to me are going to interact with the billable people that are the lifeblood of the company.
Yeah, and so
you can't have do you think it makes sense as a COO for someone like that's pretend leading Salesforce, like half leading it, half not, just go around, and then they can just cut off communication when they don't want to talk to someone because they're embarrassed because they don't know what they're doing and they've made errors?
Yeah, so I guess the question I have is, why was this never communicated directly to me? Because I can't, as the chief operating officer, I don't know all the conversations that are going among all of my 52 employees. I have plenty of employees that if they feel like they're not getting the proper attention from their management, then they
what was the strategy for Salesforce? Like, I don't know, like that. I don't know what it is or like what deals we have, or we're not planning hours. Like, I'm sitting in December, November, like, I don't know what I'm going to be working on after this. I have no idea. Like, I know, like, there's no lead process set up. There's no, like, tracking of activity to see what's going on. Like, I don't have any visibility. Is there going to be work? And I watch you guys lay people off at the beginning when I started, so I know you'll just lay me off. If I'm not, there's no billable work. That's curtains. I mean, for somebody in Salesforce.
Yeah, Paul. I mean, my comment to that is we brought you on board to do really two roles.
But like you can say we brought you on board, but then like what's the communication after? Like we brought you on board, and then here's the plan, and here's how we're executing that plan the whole time. Like, I mean, that you don't just say something at the beginning then do nothing. That's not, like, it doesn't matter what you said at the beginning if you don't follow it with action.
Yeah. I don't really have a comment. I mean, to be honest with you,
right.
I don't have a comment to it. I mean, it's something I would obviously have a discussion with Brad. I don't know that.
But even like let's go to internal initiatives. Let's talk internal initiatives, right? So like, what in 2020, what internally was proved to help set up employees for success at the billable level?
I mean, we have a very clear path of interaction that occurs with every one of our consultants. My guess is Brad didn't want to spend the time with you for some various reasons. I don't know what all the details were there. I mean, I don't know. And I don't know how you've had an issue with this since October, and you're telling me right now.
Chris, there's been issues. Across. It's not just October. I mean, that's just when Brad just stopped communicating because, I mean, you've said he can just do what he wants, and as long as he just, when you say jump, he jumps, then he's good. He doesn't have to plan people's hours. He doesn't have to do anything a certain way. We don't have to meet as a whole Salesforce team and be like, here's what we're doing internally.
Yeah, so the only thing I'm going to say, Paul, is you obviously have an opinion in terms of how we treat employees and how we communicate with employees. I don't personally believe that that is how every employee as a whole feels. And it sounds
right. Well, the thing is, though, this is an opinion. Like Brad not talking to me from October, that's not an opinion. Like there not being a strategy, that's not an opinion. There isn't one. You can't point to one that's being lived and breathed. Like these core values, like if we read through them, like process discipline, there's no process discipline. There's no methodology. You know, and I don't think you understand that. Like then I mean, the thing is, like, you know how to be a leader. It's okay. It's okay. Like, you just need to admit this stuff. You know, it doesn't matter to me if you admit it, because what you can see in the numbers, what's happening. I've looked at them.
Yeah, and Paul, I recall when we brought you on board that you were here to help us with that sales process. And pretty much from a Salesforce perspective, a lot of that hasn't been executed upon. You were going to help us with cleaning up our data within Salesforce. None of that.
That's your fault. Yeah, yes, that is your fault, Chris. Like you own the projects. Like you put in. Like Chris, you can't lead an internal project, right? So you put in on it, and then it falls apart. The second. You know, because you don't care if it gets improved. It's all good, man. I mean, it's okay. Like, you just don't try to make it seem like it's something that's different, because you're just going to do that to the next people.
You know what, Paul? I'm honestly not going to have this conversation with you, because this is completely one-sided. You obviously have an opinion of me, you have an opinion of Brad, and you have an opinion of the rest of the organization. You can take that with you. I'm glad that you resigned. And we can just call it a day. I don't need to sit here and have you sit here and tell me all the things that
you're just taking it personal, though. You're just taking it personal.
I am taking it personal.
You shouldn't take it personal. It's professional. I'm not talking about you as a human being. Like,
you don't have to tell me how I need to feel, okay? I don't need to hear it from you, all right?
But it's a business, man. Like this, you know, like this is a business. It's not a personal thing.
Right.
So here, let's just talk details. You don't want to hear it. You're not gonna make, you know, you don't care about the feedback. It's okay. But these are facts. These aren't opinions. These are facts. These aren't opinions.
Yeah.
Like not planning hours is wrong in a consulting company, and projecting that. Like that's a fact.
Yeah.
Fact.
Yeah.
You're not doing it. That's
There's
a fact.
That I have. Of all the feedback that I've gotten from your customers this week from LHD and First Person, that you weren't.
I just talked to LHD this morning. I know what the feedback is from them.
Yeah. Well.
So what's the feedback from LHD? No, what's the feedback from LHD?
Well, the feedback that I have is that.
From who? Be transparent. It's part of your core values. The feedback from who at LHD?
I'm not going down this path with you.
See, because you're making it up. I caught you. Your core values are transparent. So who from LHD communicated what feedback? So I know. So professionally, I can make the change, because I have a different understanding.
There is no change, because you're not going to be interacting.
No, me professionally, bro. I care about me professionally, bro. No, what was the feedback? You know, I mean, I need to communicate. You know, if you're lying to me in the exit interview. What was the communication from who? You were leading it in like it was bad. So who is it from, and what was it?
I got it from Jay, and Jay made very clear the issues that we have right now, that he's had an offline conversation with the individuals at LHD. I'm sure it's Julia and the rest of the crew, and that there were concerns that came out of that. And I got the same stuff. I can give you all the conversations from First Person.
Yeah.
I mean, they're thrilled that you're not part of that project.
I couldn't be happier. They're in a disaster. There's no methodology to management. There's nothing. The best thing I did was get out of that in the way I did. So it's like on me, because it's not a clean slate. Because I could have just stayed there, and then it would be like, yeah, there's no methodology. Of course you're done.
Yeah. So
I'm doing you a favor by like falling on the sword for first person. I could have dinked around and done nothing and just piddled around, but I didn't use ours, so we didn't waste their money. And it looks like it's me instead of you guys.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't want to give them a bad effort, so I didn't log hours. They're fine. No, they're in a fine position. And yeah, Jay's probably saying I'm not doing enough for not managing on LHD, but I mean, he's on his own thing. But that's okay. I think that from Jay, is probably accurate. Yeah.
Well, this is a fact. It seems to me that in working with you, that I've experienced is everyone seems to be doing things the wrong way, and you're the only one that knows the right way to do things. And I don't know that you really reflect in the mirror, in my opinion, on your own shortcomings as part of being a consultant as a person. And I'm just giving you that feedback.
Right. No, I know it. I know who I am. I know when to try, when to not. Like once I saw that like the effort of you, Brad, I knew what your effort was going to be, what your skills were. They showed. Like that's why we're here today. Right? So.
Yeah. So.
I did. Until like this went kind of south. I still do want to like do some transition stuff with LHD and just help Vanessa on how she needs to take over, but that's up to you.
No, I don't think. I don't personally think we need any of that.
Of course, but you don't know what's going on. Like you even talked to Brad and know that we didn't talk from October. So your personal opinion on what the client needs is it's just about you. It's not about them. It's not about like the service to them. Would that help? Yeah, would that help Julia and the client or hurt them?
My personal opinion is that, and this is a fact, we don't need.
So it's an opinion, then it's a fact, or which is it? It's your personal opinion that's a fact because I'm in charge, right? I mean, you can't say so as an opinion or a fact. Is it opinion? Is it opinion how you feel because you want to feel better, or is it a fact and you want to deal with it because you're in business?
You're such a pain. You're such a pain. We don't.
What is it? No. But just why can't you answer that? If it's a fact or an opinion, what you're gonna say? Let me know so I can analyze it.
The fact of the matter is I don't need you anymore after the end of the day today. I don't need you to do any transfer of knowledge. We got it covered with LHD. I will make certain that those counts are taken care of from here. It is a fact that as of 5 o'clock today, we don't need you anymore. If there's any transitions...
You didn't need me you didn't need me 6 months ago. Like, you knew what my skills were. You didn't need me 6 months ago. I know you don't need me today, and it feels good to say that, but you didn't need me 6 months ago once you decided you don't want to listen to me. It's okay.
Yeah, well then obviously then...
Yeah, you don't realize, like, you does this feel a little dehumanizing to you because someone's trying to hold you accountable? Think of how it feels to me, how dehumanizing this experience was to feel like a cog in a machine and to see, like, a company get $1 million PPP loan and then just gobble up the whole thing, lay people off. That's dehumanizing, man. It's unethical, it's unprofessional, it's all right. Here's $200, we don't have a methodology, your manager won't talk to you, here's $200. That's dehumanizing.
You have no idea where those funds...
Yeah, I know I don't. Well, then share it with the company. Share it with the company where they are. I know where they can go. I know how you can book it as income. I know all the details of it. And do you think people had, I didn't personally, and don't need the money, but did you think people had extra cost onto their life because of this virus? Yeah, of course they did. People have childcare, people probably had to deal with their family. Did they get extra money on it? They got $200. That's unethical. That's unprofessional. If I took a PPP loan, if I was an owner of a company, which I've been, I'd say this is exactly where it's going. Here it is, everybody. Here's my comp. Here's that. Everybody knew my compensation, the whole company. We're different. It's okay. We're different.
Go and start your own business and understand.
No, that's okay. I want to work on. That's all good. I don't even know business.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what's your response to that? There isn't a response to that. And you know how much you took home with it. You know.
Totally unreasonable, and that's why I'm not going to have this conversation, because there's a
Listen,
business.
people have extra costs. No, let me just answer. Just ask this: do you think people at the company had extra costs because of what happened? Yes or no?
I don't know what do you mean by extra costs?
They had child care costs. They had additional health care costs. They had, costs covering for other family members who had. Do you think that happened? Yes or no?
I can't answer the question. I don't know.
Of course you can't answer the question because you're like an executive. Protect yourself. It's either yes or no. So you don't think so? No one. So 52 employees. No one had any extra costs from a pandemic where the schools were closed, right? And that people were getting it. It's okay. It's okay, man. I mean, you that's what you think. The thing is, it's all perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to end this conversation right now. I'm trying to be nice to actually.
I know, but no, I just want if that's a transparent. Hey, Chris, that's transparent.
Yeah.
That's one of the core values.
Yeah.
Until I'm not, but I gotta follow the core values because the people have led astray, so I gotta follow the core values.
Yeah. I don't need to take this any further. Like I said, we'll send you the paperwork.
Wow.
I mean, I was actually